And joining us exclusively from San Diego are Chelsea's parents, Brent and Kelly King, along with California Assemblyman Nathan Fletcher, who led the effort to pass Chelsea's law. Thank you all for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.
Brent, Kelly, tell me first, how are you guys doing?
We're doing okay. Yesterday was a very good day in California.
Yeah. Kelly, what was it that made you spearhead this effort to get this legislation written in California?
You know, I think as a parent, there was no other choice than to say enough is enough. This has happened too many times to too many beautiful, innocent young children, and it's got to stop.
Brent, I remember talking with you all earlier this year, and remembering being so moved just by the story of your daughter. She was a remarkable young person, and the shock that both of you were in that something like this could happen. By passing this law, does this, in some way, nothing is guaranteed, but does it make it possible that something like this couldn't happen again?
It brings some peace to other families that they shouldn't have to go through what we went through. And that brings some peace to Kelly and I, that we're helping the community as much as we can. And that brings us some healing, which is really important.
I guess. Nathan, let me ask you, young guy, very new to the legislature in California, what was it about this story that made you say, we're going to get this done somehow?
Well, I think when you look at what happened and you look at the terrible tragedy that in so many cases was preventable, and you recognize that public safety is the critical responsibility of government. It's the most important thing it does is protection of the children, protection of the innocent. To see the failure and to know that out of this tragedy, I think everyone felt an obligation to try and do something to, as Brent said, ensure that future families don't have to go through what they're going through. And it really was the spirit of Chelsea and the bravery and dedication of Brent and Kelly that got us to yesterday, which is a really good day in California.
How did you get it done, though? Because in so many cases, this would have ended up as
Sure.
you know, on a ballot, and some things like this usually take years.
Well, and that was, was one of the things when we started. I was kind of being realistic, and I told Brent and Kelly, hey, these things take years. A lot of times they have to go to an initiative of the people. But there was an amazing team of supporters that came together. There were tens of thousands of community leaders, parents, law enforcement groups, crime victims groups, but most importantly, a powerful story of an absolutely amazing woman in Chelsea King that I think really led the effort and let us do, when we started, what was the unthinkable, which was in a few short months pass one of the most sweeping public safety measures to pass in California in any recent memory. And I think it's just a great tribute and legacy to the power of Chelsea King and to the dedication of Brent and Kelly, who chose to say we're going to do everything we can to make California a better place.
Right. Brent and Kelly, this is the tough question of the morning. If a law like this had been in place a year ago, would you have to be sitting where you're sitting right now?
No, in my heart of hearts, I believe we would not be sitting here.
As long as we had a tough judge that would enforce it, we wouldn't be sitting here.
Wow. In the meantime, you've moved away, you've moved to Chicago, you moved on with your life and trying to put pieces back together again. I think there will be parents in the future who will be able to thank you for your efforts to make the change in this law in California, and I know it's people in other states are starting to talk about it too. This couldn't be easy for the both of you, and Mr. Fletcher, we appreciate your time this morning too. Thank you for taking the time to share your story again. Take care.
Thank you, Harry.
Thanks, Harry.